he seems to think that this is a good thing. Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. So, Warwick Davis. Willow. A man who I actually looked up to for his performance in Willow and many other characters I grew up liking, like Wicket and others, has made the dumbest decision in entertainment. He took inspiration from Mark Hamill's Last Jedi performance. The performance that Mark Hamill himself didn't care for. I'm trying to wrap my head around this, folks. I really am. And let's get into this. The actor, who was 17 when he first played Willow Ufgood, took a page from Mark Hamill. He just leaned into his more mature years. Except, apparently you weren't paying attention when you were starring as a child in Return of the Jedi, and you were not paying attention when they said that this is something that you do not do, that this is a thing that pissed off a lot of fans. But yeah, let's get into it. It's been 34 years since Warwick Davis last played the Nilwyn sorcerer Willow Ufgood. Yet in the show, it is 16 years later. But now he's back to lead a new generation of heroes on another world-saving adventure in the Disney Plus series, Willow! Ugh. Davis first joined Lucasfilm family as Wicket, the courageous young Ewok in Star Wars Return of the Jedi, and his Star Wars collaborators would ultimately inspire his latest performance as an older Willow. Specifically, Davis referenced Mark Hamill's portrayal of Luke Skywalker and Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi. The one thing I took note of in particular was Mark Hamill's return to Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi and how he went about the approach for that, Davis tells a Hollywood Reporter. I thought he was really interesting, and it wasn't the expected approach, certainly. He came at it from quite a different angle. He came at it from the angle of Rian Johnson, Warwick. And also, I did the same. I noticed that Mark didn't try to play the character younger. He just leaned into his more mature years, and that's really what I did as Willow. Folks, The Last Jedi is the most controversial Star Wars film out there. It's the most hated. Because of the anti-Luke Skywalker, Jake Skywalker. And how he was directed and written by Rian Johnson. Apparently, Warwick Davis, and I don't hold this against him, apparently he doesn't pay attention to valid criticisms. But yeah, this is sad that he chose that. It now makes sense as to why Willow was radically different in the episode that I saw him in the series, episode 2. He came across as a parody of himself. A parody. In a recent conversation with THR, Davis also discusses his family roles on the show before recalling a moment of improv from the '88 film involving Val Kilmer's beloved rogue, Mad Modican. God, I miss Val Kilmer. Thank you very much indeed. Congratulations on the return of Greatest Sorcerer. So did Jonathan Kasdan start gauging your interest in reviving during your time on Solo: A Star Wars Story? He did indeed. We were on the set of Solo, and I was looking very much like an older version of Willow, with my long hair as Weasel. And he started talking about how much he loved Willow, and the fact that he'd been inspired by the film as a young writer. But the thing that really pushed it into higher gear was when Ron Howard came on to direct Solo, the only Star Wars movie to have lost money. He and John then chatted about Willow, and John again said what a huge fan he was of the film. So Ron and John headed off immediately, and they started talking about the future of Willow. What could it be? Another movie? A TV series? Where could it go? Well, if you are a fan of Willow as I am, you know that there are books that are the actual sequels of the Willow movie. Elora Danan is in there. Yeah. So is Matt Mardigan, I believe. Yeah. And, John. Wait. You spell his name Jon and then John This is confused writing, folks. Then started writing and coming up with ideas. Every so often, he'd give me a call and say, "Hey, Warwick, I've come up with this great idea. What do you think of it?" So that's how the project developed, really. For me, it was always something that was on the horizon. But until you start your first day on set, I've learned that as an actor, you should never take these things for granted that they're going to happen. That is true. Development on TV and film projects are notoriously very slow and very unreliable. But this came together and worked out. Your character was cocked! Cocked! He was a parody of himself. I mean, yes, he was naive when he was younger. But for Christ's sake, where was that spark of hope that Willow became for his own people, the Nelwyns? Oh, I can't read any more of this. This dude took inspiration from Rian Johnson directed performance of Mark Hamill, who has decried his own character, folks. That alone should tell you that Warwick Davis, in this case, made a terrible mistake. Why couldn't they just use the books? Why couldn't they have used the books as reference? I hear the books were actually quite well written. I mean, it hurts my soul to see how badly these characters are treated. How badly Sorsa treated Willow. Who wrote the Willow series? Because if this Jonathan Kasdan guy really wrote the Willow series, he should be fired for writing such a terribly written character of a character who was already well liked. Sorsa, after befriending Willow, would not have mistreated him. You're not a great sorcerer. Really? How anybody could take inspiration from Mark Hamill. I am so freaking upset right now, folks, that I'm tripping over my own damn words. How he could take inspiration from Mark Hamill is beyond me. This hurts my soul. Literally is reaching into my fucking chest and squeezing my heart listening to this. Are these franchises a joke to Disney? It pisses me off, folks. I am genuinely pissed the fuck off. That this is the kind... He drew inspiration from the most hated Star Wars film, not by toxic fans, but by actual fans who have been fucking fans for decades. And this is how they were treated. And He took inspiration from that. You know how much that breaks my heart? Damn, Warwick. What has happened to you? I am sure Warwick Davis is a good guy in real life. But his choice for inspiration for his new, older Willow was a very terrible mistake. This show should not have been made. Especially with what I have seen in the first 2 episodes, and sadly am going to see more of in the next episode, and so on until this series' first season is done. This hurts, folks. Anyway, that is going to be the video. Y'all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Take a look at the videos down below. You can see them here right now. This has been Orange Hat Reviews. Folks, have a wonderful day. Stay humble and be smart. Because obviously, in this case, Warwick Davis wasn't.